When a person says, "We were slaves" instead of "Our people were enslaved," it can indeed signal something tragic: internalization. Here's the psychology behind why that is so damaging. The psychology of internalizing slaves. As an identity, saying, "I am late" defines your state. Saying, "I am a slave" defines your being. When a people internalize the noun, the oppressor's job is complete because the oppression is now self-policed. Adopting the language of the oppressor, the very word slave was a legal category designed by the enslaver to define a piece of property. When the enslaved person uses that word for themselves, they are, at a psychological level, accepting the terms of their own dehumanization. They are defining themselves through the eyes of those who brutalize them. Transforming a condition into an identity. "We were enslaved" is a statement about a crime committed against us. Our African identity was intact before the colonizer, but a terrible condition was forced upon us. "We were slaves" makes the condition the identity itself. It replaces all prior identities and suggests that slaves is what we were, not what was done to us. And it's the psychological death of the original self and the acceptance of a new, subjugated one. The seeds of permanence and shame. A condition can be ended. An identity is much harder to shed. Internalizing the noun slaves plants the seeds of multi-generational trauma in a specific way: permanence. It frames the period of enslavement, not as a 250-year fight for survival, but as a permanent state of being. Passivity. It erases the agency, resistance, and full humanity of the ancestors. It turns them into passive objects in the story of their own lives. Shame. This is the deepest cut. If slave is who you were, it becomes a source of inherited shame, rather than a testament to the resilience of people who survived an unimaginable crime. You shift from being a survivor of a crime to being a bearer of a stigma. The antidote in language: reclaiming the narrative. This is why the shift to enslaved people is not about political correctness. It is an act of collective psychological reclamation. We must use our words to change our mindset.